Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Teachable Moments on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with Dr. Mekia Troy, but first, let's acknowledge our partners, including We Coach, the Florida Coaches Coalition, the Global Community of Women in High School Sports, and Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Now, you've heard me say many times, these are four great organizations that you should really add to your network. Now, don't hit that fast forward button. Stay with us for the next 3 minutes because I'm watching you. We're going to give our sponsors a shout out. These are companies that I used as an athletic director. You should really use them too. Here we go. We want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing for their support. Hometown is the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. I don't think I need to say anything more, but it's digital ticketing that offers more support, more security, and more customization. Get in touch with the Hometown team at hometownticketing.com. They're going to help you make the best solution for online ticketing. That's hometownticketing.com. We also want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Go to their website, check out their interactive touchscreen video consoles. It's a great way to show off your school record boards for all the teams, for all the sports, or your school's Hall of Fame, or simply celebrate your community and showcase your school's diverse history and your proudest moments. The website is vitalsignswalloffame.com. Mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to say thanks to Snap Mobile. Are you tired of spending hours and days and weeks with fundraisers that take too much time and give you little, if any, return? Stop right here. Go to snapraise.com/EDAD. Hands down, the best fundraiser out there. We used it at my school with great success. Our coaches loved it. Our parents loved it. What's more, it works. Go to snapraise.com. You're also going to find some powerful tools like Snap Connect, Snap Spend, Snap Manage. They're all designed to help athletic directors do their job better. And you're automatically entered in a $1,500 drawing. Go to snapraise.com/EDAD to get started. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Go to Gipper.com, start creating world-class content for your school's social media channel. Your kids are on social media, and if you're not promoting your athletes and celebrating your teams, you're really missing out. Gipper's used and trusted by over 3,000 athletic programs across the country. It's professional graphic design made simple. Go to Gipper.com. Once again, mention the podcast. You'll get a nice discount. That's Gipper.com. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to Huddle.com and change the way you see the game. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure that our school was a Huddle school, and our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided that helped them coach our kids up to their highest level. Go to Huddle.com, join the 8 million users, turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule a live web demo, and see their score tables and their score boards in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made. Go to sidelineinteractive.com to get started. We also want to say thanks to Home Campus. Home Campus is the exclusive high school and state association management platform for us. It's also your one-stop platform for things like scheduling, student athlete eligibility and clearance, and a whole lot more. As an AD, I used Home Campus every day, and it was just great, and you're going to love it too. Go to homecampus.com to get started. That's homecampus.com. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Athletic Surveys is a quick, easy, and an affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data about your school's athletic department. Athletic directors already hear back from the complainers, the people that want to gripe about everything. Athletic Surveys not only connects you with that small group, but also connects you with the 98% that love and support your program. And that's a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking to a frustrated parent or your principal or your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of your parents and your student athletes. That's athleticsurveys.com. Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of what we call Teachable Moments with Dr. Mekia Troy. Dr. Troy is a certified master athletic administrator, longtime athletic director at Creekside High School in Georgia. Regular listeners should be very familiar with Dr. Troy, frequent guest on our program. And for the past 12 weeks, he's been sharing what we call teachable moments. So we're recording this on November 13th. Dr. Troy, welcome back as always. What do you have for our listeners today on Teachable Moment number 13?
Thanks, Jake. Always good to talk to you. Well, today I want to address something that you and I have spoken about before, which is work-life balance. It comes up a lot, I guess, in all professions, but definitely in ours as athletic administrators. And it's something that, as you would know, Jake, that it's a little unnerving for me to call it work-life balance, just because I don't think that it necessarily is that. I don't think that that balance actually exists. You know, there's other phrases out there, work-life integration, work-life harmony, but ultimately, when you hear work-life balance, you know what we're talking about. Making sure that you can figure out how to manage your priorities in a way that you can still be successful at work and successful at home. Because if you don't, it is the perfect formula for burnout in the workplace and possibly some issues on the home front that you don't want. So we have to make sure that we are intentional in how we navigate the time we spend working and the time we spend just living life. And that might not look the same every day. That could change. There could be huge priorities in a work day. Depending on what it is, it could take up a lot of your time. And then there are times where you completely can clock out, check out, and focus on the other things you have going on in life. And we just have to find that natural rhythm of how that looks for us in order to be successful at both. Recognizing that saying yes to something is saying no to something else. And it's our duty to really decide which priority deserves a yes in that particular moment. Technology has made this a lot more difficult for us, with the pandemic probably allowing us to learn different ways to work as many hours as we can imagine. That after hours phone call that someone might have never done in the past can now be a text message that doesn't seem like it's as disruptive to someone's night. Or that meeting that, you know, could have been on the other side of town and too far to make now could be virtual. So you run out of excuses as to how you can get out of those things. But just because it has to be done doesn't mean that it has to be done right now. And we have to make sure that we are choosing the best thing for us in those moments. We're in a unique position as athletic administrators in trying to balance our time and navigate things, particularly because we have a full work day, and then most of our events are going to take place after school hours. So that makes for a very long day. So it takes some strategy and some commitment to exactly what our priorities are in the moment, so that other responsibilities don't go lacking. We have to do our best in order to be our best selves for both our work, but also for our families, friends, and making sure that we are taking time to rest, recover, rejuvenate, whatever it takes to make sure that we are capable of being our best. One of our district administrators shared a quote that I saw on social media recently, and he said, people won't remember how many extra hours or weekends you spend checking emails or addressing work issues, but your family will. And that's just something to consider, because, you know, there's a situation where I saw a principal. He came out to a baseball game, and he had his young son with him, and his son sat there next to him at the game, and the principal was just going through his phone, checking messages, emails, responding, while his son is just watching the game, pulling for his attention. And he wasn't getting it in the way that it would be if it were just, you know, he and his father watching a baseball game, and his dad wasn't working. And that image came to mind when I saw that quote, just think, wow, that's something that his dad even now may not remember at all, that it was just a normal day and he was checking emails or checking text messages, but his son might never forget that, hey, we were at that baseball game and I didn't get any of your attention because you were so focused on work, and it was supposed to be about us at the game. So it's important that we find ways to make sure that we are prioritizing not just the work part, but definitely the life part as well, because that matters. And it takes those moments to break away, to kind of clock out, is what I tell my coaches, so that we can be better for ourselves and be better for the people that we work with and be better for our families. It's necessary to do. So as we continue to figure it all out, I think it's important that we identify our priorities and what those are, and make sure that that commitment is kept to make those priorities have their proper place in each day. I like the definition of commitment that says that there's no other option. So once you've committed to something and you set those priorities, you want to make sure you stick to it and don't let anything make you change that. So those are my thoughts on work-life balance.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You and I did speak at length on this topic with some other athletic directors. And you're absolutely right. It's one of those things that we all talk a good game, but sometimes it's hard to put into practice. You're still on the job, full-time athletic director, very successful program. I'm working at trying to figure out retirement, certainly a different challenge than what you faced. What are one or two things that you do to try to maintain? And again, the word is, it's a semantical game, work-life balance. It's never going to be balanced. If you balance it, you're probably fired because you're not spending enough time on the job. But how do you manage that work-life integration?
Yeah. Well, one, if it means that I have to stay a little bit later, not to take a bunch of work home, I'd much rather spend an extra 30, 45 minutes in my office taking care of things than taking home a lot of work. Even on the weekends, I have a set schedule for when I'll post our weekly schedule out to our followers on social media, but I kind of know when that is versus me waiting to gather all that information at one time while I'm at home. So anything I can do to prep while I'm actually on the job, I want to make sure that I can do that. It does help that you can see emails and other things on your devices and on your phones, but that doesn't mean, again, that I have to address it right then. So if it means a quick glance to see what's going to be on the plate for Monday, like this weekend, I saw my emails, but I didn't address anything until today, Monday. So it's a work in progress each day. But again, it comes down to prioritizing what's most important in those moments.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear the word intentional, you have to be intentional. You have to schedule that family time, schedule that personal time. And as you alluded to, just because that email comes in, doesn't mean you have to respond to it that second.
Yeah.
Great tips. Dr. Troy, if one of our listeners wanted to reach out, connect with you, add you to their network, find out how you do things there at Creekside, what's the best way that they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can find me on my personal social media at DrTroyme, Dr. Troy Me. Or athletics page is Creekside_tribe. And just, check us out, follow us, reach out, ask questions. I can be a resource, and I would love to in any way.
Dr. Troy is very easy to get a hold of, pretty active on Twitter and Instagram. She's also going to be attending the NADC conference in Orlando next month, going to be teaching a course, correct? Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, you want to give a shout out for that course? Maybe get some late signups for it?
Yeah. Hey, 706, come check us out, Coaching Coaches.
Yeah, again, all the courses are great. The faculty is great. 706, it's one of those really fun courses. You're really going to take home a lot of tools for your toolbox there. I had to get that in. Dr. Mekia Troy, thanks so much for spending time with us again on Teachable Moment, and all the best moving forward.
Thank you.
For our listeners, we do this every single week, and we upload the Zoom recordings to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. Of course, we appreciate you listening and your support. So come back next week for another Teachable Moment, and just about every day for new content on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Hey, always a great time with Dr. Mekia Troy. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Again, these are companies that I used as an athletic director. I really think you should be using them too. Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack, Huddle, go to huddle.com. Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Their mission is to bring your school's legacy to life. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. Snap, they have an entire suite of platforms. We use Snap Raise, the fundraising platform, hands down the best one out there. Go to snapraise.com. Of course, we want to thank Gipper. Go to Gipper.com, start creating world-class content for your school's social media channel. We also want to say thanks to Home Campus, the official high school and state association management platform for us. Go to homecampus.com to get started. Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. You've heard me say before, probably the best purchase I ever made. SidelineInteractive.com. And Hometown Ticketing. Go to hometownticketing.com. They're the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week on another Teachable Moment.